Good afternoon. I think it's about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and it's a very sticky day. The weather just feels awful. It was overcast most of the day, but it was still 32 degrees, and that's quite, well, it gets up to 36 in this area, and that's the average. Now, many years ago, when I said to my friend 14,000 people died in France because of there was a heat wave, he said, "You're full of shit." And I guess he only wants to say this because he's been to a really good university and he thinks he's a lot cleverer than me, or I'm just pulling fucking figures out of my arse. And so, but luckily at that time we were near a computer, and because these posh phones didn't exist then, and sure enough, it was 14,000 in France and 4,000 in Spain. There were 18,000. 2003 was the year. 18,000 people died. They were generally mainly elderly people, a lot that lived alone, and like England, they didn't have air conditioning. And people do die in Japan, by the way, with the heat when it gets very hot. But like I say, a lot of people, they're also, they're given advice, and also they've got most houses in Japan have got central heating. So what are you fucking on about? Oops, bloody hell. They've got air conditioning, and there might be like some rooms that don't have it, but most rooms do have it. You might have 2, 3, 4, 5 separate air conditioners in the house, which leads to like an expensive bill. Now, in my house, I've got one in the front room, one in the kitchen, and then well, my wife and we used to share ours with our daughter, and then there was one in the back room for my son. So our air conditioning at night time would go into our daughter's. We'd open the door, and it would go into the room. And but the thing is that if you leave it on all the time, not only do you get a very expensive electricity bill, you also get, like we usually put it on between around 25, 26, something like that. And so if you leave it on all the time, and which I'm led to believe a lot of Americans do, if you can let me know your input on this, I'd really appreciate it. The first time I saw this was when I first came to Japan in 1990. 2 Americans stopped with me at this place, very nice place, and when we were going out, like he said, don't switch the aircon off. He says, why? He says, because we can come back to a cool room. I said, well, you're not paying the bill. And and then my friend asked the question on Facebook the other day, yesterday, and he said he was going on about it, and he was asking the same question: do you switch off your air conditioning when you leave the house? Now, some people are under the misconception that it actually saves you money. No, it fucking doesn't, because you're still using the air conditioner. Is probably the most expensive thing you will use electric wise in your house. The fridge, your fridge, for example, maybe costs about like 1,000 yen per month, $10, something like that. Your electricity, something similar maybe. Then you've got your refrigeration for your food, and some people might cook with electricity. For example, my bill at the moment is about 4,000 yen for electricity. But then again, I live by myself, so it's not expected to be high. Where is this good video going? That's what I'd like to know too. Yeah, don't be under the misconception that leaving it on running, it's not a fluorescent light bulb. Now, a fluorescent light bulb, they said that about that. If you switch it on, don't switch it off straight away, because once it's running, it doesn't use a lot of electricity. So air conditioning is not a neon tube. So once that pressure drops, the pump has to start again to compress, to cool the air, to cool the gas, and then pump it back out. By the way, I do have a video. My biggest video is on how to change an air conditioner, if you did not see it already. So please let me know. I don't think it's a good idea if a lot of the world are using their air conditioners in this way, because it can't be good, you know. And like a lot of people, and I'm sure that most people are saying, oh yeah, blah blah blah, climate change, global warming, and then they're running the fucking air conditioning 24 hours a day. That can't be good. Anyway, so I'm sorry to go off again on this thing, but please let me know, do most Americans do that? Because for one, I can't see how. Is it well off should I say well off Americans? Because I'm sure that as a poor person can't afford to spend like $100, $200 a month on the bloody electricity bill. Please let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.